So hi you guys. So I'm back with chapter 6 verse 7, and it talks about what's goodwill doing, serving as to the Lord and not to man. So when we doing our servant, what good is it for a servant to do it to God and he not doing it to man? Because we have to understand that we worship God in spirit and we worship God in truth. So that is part of the armor by doing what is right to anybody, any man, female, male, master, which they called it master then. But now it's just like a boss man or like a co-worker, you know, in those terms. But it goes to 8, it says, knowing that whatever good one, any other does, he will receive the same from the Lord. Whatever you do good to one another, that means that you will receive the reward of a free servant. Meaning it's no bound to you. You're not a bound servant anymore. You basically a free servant because you're doing it out of the fruits. You're doing it out of your free will. You're not doing it because you're forced to do it. You're not doing it because of you getting paid. Even though, yes, a lot of people go to work because they get paid. But if we, if when God gave us this world, this earth, and it was for free, everything that we were supposed to do, build our houses, plant our fruits, anything, it was all free. God gave all of this free to us. But you know, with the bond servant and the free servant are the masters, there were men that took over and took God's word and used it in their own free will of how they wanted to use it. But just like if when God did give us the land for free, and let's just say we didn't have to pay for nothing we own. Let's just say we didn't have to pay for no land. We was living how God wanted us to live. It won't be right for you to go and help your neighbor because your neighbor giving you some coin, or your neighbor, you know that you're getting something from your neighbor, so this is why you're doing it. No, he wanted you to do it in good spirit, in good fruits, in good will, so that way it could be pleasing to God. That way it be God that is enjoying the fruits, right? And that way we could recognize God in our flesh, because it'll be experience him not just in spiritual but in the flesh too. And so um it says in Romans, according to his deeds. See, good deeds, bad deeds. You want to be in good deeds. And you masters do the same thing to them. Your own master also is in heaven, you know? And then is there is no favoritism with him. So what is God is saying, there's no favoritism with God. God is always in these fruits. What happened was, because I had seen this video, and I seen this man when he got on this verse with a fine servant and a fine, oh my God, he took it so wrong. And, you know, like I was telling y'all, God really be exposing our own self to ourselves. He allow us to be a witness with the Holy Spirit, to allow us to reveal our hearts. So when we reveal our hearts and the Holy Spirit tells us what our heart is, and we also witnessing what our heart is, it's like we can't deny it because you know the truth. This is how God's righteous judgment is. This is how God's judgment will be in due time. And it says, with Job 31:13, it says, if I have despised because of my female or my male servant, when they would they convert against me, you know, like just basically, they have some people that treat women better than they treat men, or some men that treat men better than they treat women, when everyone's supposed to be treated in the fruits of God, being a servant as if you are serving God. That's how God wants us to be servants to one another. Okay? And then it say, when then should I do? When God rises up, when the punishment, how shall I answer him? How? How would you answer when God do rises up and he do give us that judgment? He going to judge you in your in the right judgment, because he know that you was a witness. He know that this is the way that. That's why I say God is so amazing what he do. You know what I'm saying? When God did all of this, he made sure that we was able to be a witness of our own self and our own bad deeds or our good deeds. We were able to experience these things with God, because he tell us in Job 13:13, he said, hold your peace with me and let me speak. Then let come on me with me. Why do I take my flesh in my teeth and put my life in my hand? That's what God is saying. But we not doing what we supposed to do, how he teaches us how to be. And our parents would have taught us this, and their parents would have taught them that, it would have keep falling in place and it keep falling in place, Um, when God says, um, when God says, children, be obedient to your parents, that was God letting us know that that is righteousness. When God said, fathers, when God said, my son, keep your father's commandment, he not just saying, he's not talking to the children. He's talking to the father that's in the house. He's telling his own son to keep his commandments, meaning this is how you hear people saying, the father, the wife, and kids. It's because the father get the daddy of the house get his information from the father in heaven. And the father in heaven is going to give him instructions. The 10 Commandments. He's going to give him his commandments on how to run his household. So that's what God meaning in Proverbs 6, verse 20. He's talking to the father, how the father should keep his commandments, and how you shall not forsake your mother's law. Okay? And what God is saying is, don't forsake in the law. It's saying, listen to what begotten you, and do not despise in old age. This is well pleasing to the Lord. So, we got more to talk about. But remember, it's well within you, and I love you guys. Mwah.